stuff, I'm going to be checking for thickness here, right? So I'm going to close your eyes or not look at this. Break a little piece off of something, right? This way you can sort of test the thickness of the glaze. Alright, and we can see I need a sieve, right? It looks, I don't know if you can even see the, right, like, I don't know if you can really see it there, guys, but there's little specks, right? So I'm gonna sieve it, but the thickness, if I'm looking at it, and I get a nice little sharp pen or something, you can use your fingernails, but I don't have it, right? I'm gonna make an indentation, and I'm looking for like a millimeter, right? And I think the thickness is actually good on this. So there's enough water, I'm just gonna sieve it now. And so when I'm sieving it, I'm gonna grab this bucket here. And then I'll cut to me doing this in a second here. Alright. So, first I'm gonna rinse off this. Pour it right through this little sieve. Right, and so I know that there is some. First, I know that there is some mold. There is some mold in here, so I have a feeling that I'm going to be kind of scraping out some mold from the bottom here. But we're just kind of scraping it through, and it's almost like we're mixing a pie or something. Like, oh shit, I got a little bit on my mouth, but that's fine. Sometimes it's good, like if you make a spill, clean it up right away because it's still wet. Yeah. Just sort of scraping it through, and you can see it's really. Something is just not, it's like clumping, right? Like a lot of like clumpy stuff here. So some chemical, I think, I can't remember if there was elastinate in here or not, but I think elastinate is notorious for that. Like I said, there's some mold in this too. So I'll cut to me doing that in a second. So I'm going to be making sure like scraping all that nice glaze from the interior here. So like even that bottom of that bucket, you can see I'm scraping that down. Like this is all glaze that people can use. So you want to make sure you get every last little drop out of there. There we go. You can see that some of this stuff isn't fully like soluble, I guess, right? So I'm gonna push it through the sieve, and then this one I think I'll push it back through the sieve again, just so I can get as much of that out of there as possible. So then when you put the glaze on the object, there's nothing more beautiful than like seeing a nice smooth surface, right? Like I know. I guess it can actually make a difference depending on what it is. Sometimes you can get like some almost like this orange peel skin effect, right? From like all these like little things. It's maybe if it's like a flux, it might melt and look like specks on your glaze. But there's something about having a surface that's like really smooth on your pot when you're putting glaze on that just looks, gives you confidence. There's like a hidden confidence in there. But yeah. No, you're all good.
I did this.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry.
No, I'm donating them. Like I picked like a random company to like give mugs to, so don't worry at all. It's literally it's totally okay.
All right.
A lot of my cups in general already have like a messed up lid or rim.
Okay.
So don't worry.
Okay.
I can do it too. Like you don't worry. You don't have to do that for me. You what?
Do what?
Sand the, is that what that is? Sandpaper?
No.
Oh, I thought you were like gonna sand it for me. I was like, oh, don't worry about that.
I just pitch it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Alright, sounds good. But there's something about having a glaze surface that's very smooth that just radiates a confidence on the pot, right? And that's the stuff that, I don't know, is really important, I think, for beginners. That like when they come to you, like I've had students, they come to me and they're like, yo, Mr. Noah, like there's these specks all over the surface of my glaze. Like is that bad, right? And so anytime that you have like a person who's new or a student who's new and they're just thinking to themselves like, oh, this looks like a mistake. Sometimes it's good if you can mitigate some of that stress for them, right? But, alright, cool. Thank you. I'm just mixing it right now. So you can see. So I'm doing this here. Look at that. You can see too, if you're looking at this, you can see all that stuff. When I pull it back, it's that white powder. So I think it will last night. So, but we'll check up on that in a second here. So I'll see you guys in a second. All right. So just got done sieving, and then always make sure whenever you're sieving, you scrape the stuff off the bottom. So after you sieve through here, some of it collects on that bottom. Make sure you scrape that stuff on the bottom into the bucket. Right. We're gonna do another mix here, and some of that glaze has become a little bit more. It's a little bit thicker now. I can see since I pushed all that dry material through the sieve. So it's probably incorporated into the glaze just a little bit more. So I'm gonna break another little chunk here. We got another chunk. I'm gonna dip it in. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. I'm looking at it. You still got a little bit of that, pebbling on that surface there, but for the most part, it's pretty good. The thickness is, let's try it out here. It is a little thick, so I'm gonna add a little bit of water to it. And then after that, I like to clean out the inside of the bucket that it's gonna be in, you know? Just because I'm already doing something, so why not just do it and get it done? And then, you know, if you do a little bit every single time I come in, right, eventually all the buckets are going to look pretty clean on the interiors there. I mean, obviously we'll get stuff, but it won't be like moldy like what it was. And I'm just going to incorporate some of that water that I just poured in there. I mean, I love when it looks like chocolate milk, yo. That's when the glaze is at its best. When it sort of has that chocolate milk color, or not color, texture. So I'm going to rinse off my spatula, rinse off my sieve. There we go. I'm going to bring the other bucket over here. Get ready for the next pour. Pour it right in here so you guys are still with me. Okay, this one, since there's more water, should go through the sieve. Look at that. You can see it's already a lot better. And again, taking our spatula on the inside of the bucket here. Get all that junk into my glaze. In there, you thought you were gonna be left behind. No way there, dog. But so, now we got that. We're gonna just push the rest of the glaze through the sieve here. And you can already see before when we did it, the glaze was a little bit thicker. And then look, there's barely any of that. You can't really tell, but there's barely any of that whatever last night or dolomite, I don't really know what it was, to be honest. But look at that. Pushing it through the sieve. We're in a good spot here. That's enough. Like I always say, scrape that bottom. Look. There's still some of that glaze on the bottom part. And then we give it one last mix. We're done. So that's one of the glazes done now. I guess I can take some video of me doing the actual the dry material stuff, but I think I did that in another video, so keep it like how it is now. But alright, see you guys in a little bit.
Okay, so this is going to sound a little weird, but the coolest thing that ever happened to me was getting divorced. It allowed me the opportunity to reinvent myself.
Okay. Alright, everyone. Oh, I'm really bleeding. I'm bleeding. Can you even see that? I'm bleeding. But that's okay. Blood, sweat, and tears. I'm just kidding. It doesn't really hurt. It stings a little bit, but it's fine. But I hope you guys are doing good. I'm gonna have to be a little bit more monotone today because it's late at night. Usually I finish all of my pottery during the day, but today was not one of those days. And I'm gonna talk a little bit with you guys. But today was one of those days where I did a lot. Today I went into work and I mixed a bunch of glazes, and you guys saw that video earlier, right? And so that's been kind of fun, mixing glazes and talking with people. I realized that people, since they don't know like my experience with ceramics when I'm in new areas, that sometimes they like to tell me these things like I know they're trying to impress me, you know, with amount and volume, but I don't think they just don't know the amount and volume that I make, right? Right, like for me, amount and volume is just time, and that's it, you know. And so I'm reared and ready to do something, right? Like, you give me a project, you know, and I don't sweat if it's gonna take me like 2 years to make, right? Or if it takes me 2 months of intensity, right? Like that stuff is totally fine. So it's kind of funny. Somebody was just telling me that I'm gonna get tired of it, like giving things to people, and then I was just like, bro, you have no idea, right? Which is totally cool, because I think to like a normal person, maybe around my age, the amount of ceramics that they would be talking about is sort of like astronomical. But to me, you don't wanna write me out. Even though I'm a young lad, I'm also a freaking mad lad. So that was kind of fun to just listen. I let those people like have that moment, right? Because I know they don't know, and I'm not gonna like ruin their moment to like tell me something that they're excited about just because I want to tell them that I'm actually like better than what they think, so. But I do just let them have that little moment, and it's been kind of that's as far as I think I can take it before it's going to start collapsing. Really thin there. But this clay's a little bit stiffer, so I think it'll work when I do this. 3, 4, 5. Oh, shit. I totally ripped that. But that's okay, because we're just going to keep taking this up. Look how twisted this one is. This one's funky. But I mixed 4 glazes today. And I'm getting hair in my mouth. Mixed 4 glazes today. And it took me a little bit longer just because I kept talking with people. Sometimes when a bunch of people come in and start talking to me, like, I think I have to talk to them, but part of my brain's like, I'm also getting paid right now. I want to make sure I'm like being responsible. So a little bit behind today on that stuff, but I'm excited. I'm going to be mixing some clay soon, and then I was listening to some music and doing that, and it's pretty great. I'm going to be doing something tomorrow. I'm going to be throwing some bowls. I don't normally throw bowls, so that's kind of exciting. And so I was asked if I could come in and throw some bowls to donate. And I'm like, anything, donating objects? Oh, that's perfect. And then they're supplying the clay. And I was like, that couldn't get any better. So I'll be doing that today or tomorrow. And so I don't know how the videos is going to turn out tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. I also have my last day of the makeup class tomorrow, so that's pretty exciting. So it'll be kind of a cool little ending of that class tomorrow, hopefully. I hope people show up. And then, what's the word? Oh yeah, today, after I was done with all my work stuff, I decided to go to my old school because they're doing something called second year reviews, right? And that's where there's first years and second years at my old school, right? And so if you're first year, you don't really have too many big dates in the first semester. other than maybe you give a presentation to the whole school about your work, right? But the second year this is sort of getting ready for a show that they're going to be having in the second half of the semester, right? So coming up here in spring. And so this second year review is sort of the purpose to, have some other people that may not normally look at your work come in and see your work and talk about it, right? Look at that. This one's good. This one's over here. So, like I said, it's a really generative environment for people who may not be as socially inclined, because it's like this school's assigning you like certain professors that you may not normally talk to, and it's just a good environment. So, me being me, I was like, oh well, I still know the people who are there pretty well. So I was like, you know what, I gotta go down there. So I went down there and I saw sort of all the new work that people are making. And so that was like pretty awesome today. Maybe I can tell you a little bit about the work that I saw, right? And some of the things we talked about, right? So some of the work that I saw, somebody's really good at making these like miniatures, scenes, right? And think surrealist imagery, think some shit like Salvador Dali, the ants being a metaphor for something in some of the paintings, or the clocks being a metaphor for something, right? This person likes to work in sort of metaphor, but linking it to memory, right? So, for example, one of the pieces is like a fish, or like a dragon fish on his head, right? And so that has some little metaphor, or like a sauna, because in it, when he was a kid, there was a sauna that he would go in, so he has like very vivid memories of those, right? But this work specifically, I think he's always had a really good handle on like clay, and the objects are always look amazing, right? But I think he's sort of struggled with display in the past. And so this time it was displayed. It's such a shame I didn't take video of some of the work. But it was like on these pedestals, these black pedestals, which is just burnt wood, so they looked like giant charcoal sticks. And the work was just sitting on top of that. 9 of the works were sitting on each, and there was 9 poles, and they were sitting on these black burnt poles, all in a grid formation. And it looked so beautiful because there was like caverns in between each of the sculptures, right? So they had like their own moment to talk to you, right? Just a really powerful piece. And then there's this one woman, she was sort of like hit the ground running this year, and I've been seeing on her Instagram just absolutely amazing like pots that she's made. Making these sculptures are just so intense. And so finally I got to talk with her about it, and she's just so bright and shining when she talks about her work. And I'm just so excited about it because when she was talking, I got a little bit emotional, because she was telling me like at the end of last year, she was sort of dealing with that. I've talked about it on the channel before, but she was dealing with this idea that she didn't feel like she was like maybe like skilled enough, or she had like self-doubt, right? And she came to the realization that she's just going to outwork her self-doubt. And when she was telling me about this, I kept, she didn't really know, but like I have been like, I also struggle with that same feeling. So hearing her talk about it was just so wonderful for me personally. But I'm gonna pull this, sorry guys. we go. But hearing her talk about it was just so wonderful, and so it was cool getting to rekindle some like flames with people that I haven't really followed up on since I've been doing all this teaching stuff, you know. I forget how much I really like to talk about the art stuff. This just looks like a vase. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Too thin. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Oh, look how thin it is. It's just ripping. Interesting. We're just going to keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Let's see. I think we leave that. It's kind of interesting. Still getting hair in my mouth. And then, oh my gosh, I'm getting so much hair in my mouth. But it was just, like I said, it was just a really cool environment to be in, talking about work, you know. Imagine, like, you spend years of your life just talking and thinking with people about something that you find important, and then all of a sudden, like, the important stuff sort of isn't there anymore, and then people are just like making to make, which is totally valid, right? But there's something about, like, when you're with people and you're talking with them about things that they find that are important, it's just such a magical experience, right? And that's like one of the things I think I really enjoy about like art. You know, I don't like ceramics. I don't like making. I don't really like any of that stuff. It just fills me with value, right? But there's one thing I do like, and that's talking to people about their work. It's just so magical. But oh, this one turned out great. Look at that. So that's one thing that if you guys, you know, I'm sure everybody in their life has maybe not something like a project, like a tangible project, right? It could be a digital or mental project that they're working towards, right? But you should talk to the people about those things that you're working on, right? And it's hard because a lot of people will just gas you up no matter what it is. And you gotta be careful. And you know, sometimes I'm a victim of this. Oh wow, one of my pots fell over while I was talking. Here. Let's see, we'll get this picked up here. Interesting. Okay, well that one dipped down, but it looks kind of cool now. But you tell people something, and all of a sudden you realize that they're not actually thinking with you, right? They're just listening and affirming, right? And if somebody's like really listening to you, they won't just affirm every single thing you're saying, right? They'll ask you questions. They'll sort of pick your brain, and if you're really lucky, they'll tell you that they don't like something about it, right? If you can find people that like shit on you a little bit, like that's how you know you find somebody that you can really like keep going to. Sorry, I'm doing this like the totally wrong way. Don't do this way, guys. This is like so butchered. Okay. Let's see if we got that. Look at that. There we go. But that's how you know you really found somebody useful to yourself and your life, are the people who are gonna like be relentless to you as well, right? That's, I think, the biggest thing that's plaguing like younger generations of people, is that you have people that will tear you down, but you don't have people that will tear you down in the right way, right? And sometimes what's worse than somebody tearing you down is someone just freaking building you up for every single thing you say, right? And so that's why sometimes you got to be a little bit silent with some of your projects, and that's what I'm bad about, right? Because there's a study that was saying that the receptors that you get from like telling somebody about a project is similar to the receptors in your brain of finishing the project. And so they're saying that you're a lot less likely to actually do a project if you tell everybody around you about it. Which I was like, whoa, that's kind of interesting. So that's something, take with that knowledge what you will, but it's just kind of an interesting outlook. You know, I never really thought about it that way. And personally, like, how I just tell people about the project, I just do it, you know. But I'm sure that I don't get to everything and I forget about things, so I think that's normal. But there we go, look at that. But I hope that everybody can have somebody at least talk about the things that they find are important in life. And hopefully that's something personal, right? There's nothing more valuable that you can offer someone, right? And someone can offer you than their time, right? Look at that. Perfect. Their time is so important. And so when somebody gives you the time, make sure you thank them for it. Doesn't matter if it seems like a little bit cringe. I feel like I'm getting really good at becoming cringe. Right? Like, if somebody asks me, or somebody spends some time with me, and like for example, today I was invited to play a game called Catan, and I totally would have not have done it, but I think it was a good choice for me to do that, right? And after I said, thank you for letting me intrude on your guys' moment, right? Because I really shouldn't have been there, right? And they allowed me to come in and interact and hang out with them, right? And so they didn't really have to do that, so you really should thank people genuinely. So I was like, I went to all of them, I gave them all a handshake, and you know, some people, they laugh and they give me a handshake, like, and they think it's more of like a silly thing, but when I give somebody a handshake, to me it's really a really serious thing, right? That's a shame. Went too thin. That's okay, guys. We'll just do one more quick. And so part of that is because part of it's a fucking mess in here. It's so messy. I can't even look anywhere in my view without having a fucking mess somewhere, right? And so, a little bit irritated at myself that I let it get to this point, but you reap what you sow, right? I'm just hoping I can get this video done in the time frame here, because I always think it's kind of frustrating that it only goes for certain amount of time before it shuts off. Only 30 minutes is what I got. And let me guess, I'm at like 20 minutes now. 8 minutes. Oh my gosh. Again, it's slimy as fuck. Again, guys, don't do it this way. Make sure your hands are dry. Make sure you get a good connection between the bed and the clay, or else it's gonna just fall off, right? So. There we go. Some nice hammer fist on the top there. Great. Down and out. But I gotta play Catan, and I won. It was funny, I was trying to be very theatrical as I was playing this game called Catan. And if you don't know Catan, you can look up the directions, but it's gonna be way too long. But just know it's like a civilization builder board game. I love civilization builders, so I was happy because I won. No, I'm just kidding. But I did win and I was happy, so that maybe I wasn't playing. But I was happy too because I just got to play a game that I don't really, like I said, I don't really go out and play with people like that. So other than my basketball maybe, but nice. So I was on somebody with a team with somebody, and we were the green team, and so we kept we were really trying to, well, we usually play by yourself, but we were playing on teams, so we kind of like, you have to like what's the word, talk with your teammate about your decisions. So me and my teammate, we were like really cooperative with each other, and I think that led to our victory, to be honest. That's the reason why. And I normally don't win in those things, so I was like really excited. So that was kind of fun. Too thin. Okay, let's see what we can do. So, up to the edge there, up to the edge, up to the edge, up to the edge, pushing that in, so then it will twist nicer there. Oh my god, guys. Yeah, this one's freaking nuts. I'm getting really slimy, but you can see like some of the slimy stuff on this top rim here. We're gonna keep that. You know? Sometimes when stuff like that happens and you haven't seen it before, right? Like that's a sign that maybe it needs to stick around. Maybe it found its home on this pot, right? All surfacing is just looking for the right home. You know? That's all it is. Everything's just looking for the right home. My thing's getting sanded down, so now it's not working properly. My wooden knife. That's kind of sad. On this one, I really have so much clay on my pants. I'm gonna be so miserable tonight cleaning off everything. But here we go. Slice, 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 slice. We'll leave that one there. Twist, twist. Look at that. we were all normal, the world would be boring, right? Yeah, somebody might call you weird. But to quote one of my favorite movies, at least I'm not unoriginal. Right? And that quote comes from Good Will Hunting, one of the best movies of all time. I love that movie. But, wow, y'all, look at this pot. That's freaking power right there. And I got it done before the time. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching. All the best. Strong mentality. Peace.